Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Ion Energy's live summit today, hosted by Six. I'm very pleased to introduce the speaker for today, Ion Energy's CEO and Director, Ali Haji, who is joining us live from Mongolia. Ali is going to share some very exciting updates from Mongolia on the strategic site visits he's been having, and then we'll be taking questions live. So as a reminder, you can submit questions at any time on the Q&A panel on the right-hand side of the screen, and we'll try to get to them afterwards. And as always, the summit is being recorded and available to watch afterwards on Six.com. But without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to you, Ali, to kick it off.
Appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that's taking the time to dial in here today. We're very excited to be in Mongolia after essentially a 2-year hiatus as a result of the pandemic. We're more excited about the site visits that we were able to complete. We spent last week about 4 days going to Baba Ayul, looking at the White Wolf prospect, where we found 1,502 ppm of lithium very close to surface, which is almost double the 811 ppm that was seen at White Wolf back in 2016. So extremely excited about Baba Ayul. Results of the last program continue to come in. We then drove across to Urgakh Naran, where we were able to kick off our maiden exploration program. So some of the images that you're seeing there on site, or rather on the slide there, show you sort of the salt crust that was found at Urgakh Naran. Some of the salars that you see there, very similar to what you would find in Argentina and Chile, as well as the mining camp, which now houses 25 people. We have 2 drill rigs going. We have geophysics TEM lines going. We've been able to complete 3 of those lines. We have about 4 more to go. We've also been able to complete over 25 holes. So fantastic progress while we've been here. Importantly, we were able to bring some very special technical advisors with us. Don Haynes, who is my chief technical advisor, accompanied by Dr. Mark King, who is a globally renowned hydrogeologist. They were able to see the work in progress, to critique it relative to what you would find in terms of the work being done in LATAM, but more importantly, really just enhance and complement the fantastic team that we have here in country, and train them as to best practices as far as lithium hydrogeological testing is concerned. A lot of the holes that we've drilled, we're very encouraged by the results that we're seeing so far. We're very encouraged by the state of the basin. We've also been able to find significant indications that would point towards essentially a fantastic asset here at Urgakh Naran. So we're extremely pleased as a company that we've been able to get out here, work with our excellent team here in Mongolia, be safe while doing so, and ultimately find a very encouraging piece of, or an encouraging set of data, if you will, over at Urgakh Naran. And we continue to plan the greater exploration program at Baba Ayul as well. So all in, couldn't be more pleased. And I think some of our advisors, if not all of our advisors, would echo that sentiment. So happy to take any questions, but as Dasha said, coming at you live from Mongolia.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. So if you do have any questions, feel free to submit them. But Ali, how does it feel to be back in country after so long? Are there any noticeable or significant changes?
Yeah, I mean, it was long overdue. It's been about 2 years since I've been over here, so it's great to be back and meet with our team in country, but also just to see the development in country. I think you've seen that Rio Tinto has sort of almost tripled down on their investment here in country with a $7.5 billion investment to help them acquire Oyu Tolgoi, which is the 3rd largest copper gold deposit in the world. Very recently, Zijin just announced an investment in Xanadu. So there is a fair bit of capital flowing into the country. We're seeing the government and the local municipalities being very supportive of what we're doing. And importantly, I think I've seen a lot of development in country, which is a fantastic sign of economic development and economic growth. There are buildings in the capital just here behind me, and I know it is nighttime, so you probably can't see them. But there are a number of new buildings in country. We're finding that a lot more foreigners are visiting the country, and Mongolia is definitely open for business, and it's been indicated with some of the strategics sort of stepping in and doubling or tripling their stake here in the country.
Yeah, is it the first time that your technical advisors have been in Mongolia?
That's precisely right. So, Mongolia, we are first movers in the lithium brine space. Nobody else has looked for brine in Mongolia. If you're in LATAM, well, you're in luck, because a lot of the local workforce has been working in the lithium sector since the mid-2000s. And as a result of that, you have skilled labor in country that understands how to explore for lithium. In Mongolia, we're first movers. We went public in August 2020 at the height of the pandemic. We haven't had the ability to bring in lithium hydrogeologists to countries. So having the likes of, like I said, Mark King, who was essentially the QP on Lithium that sold to Zijin last quarter for $960 million, alongside Don Haynes, who very much worked with the TSX on the committees that defined what a 43101 should be for a lithium brine company to go public. And having them be encouraged by what they're seeing on the ground here, I think is a fantastic result for us, and I couldn't be more pleased about it.
That's great. And how often can we expect to see exploration updates from ION's exploration sites going forward?
Very regularly. So to all our shareholders that have been patient, we thank you. But now that we have kicked off this program and we've more than crossed the halfway point for Urgak Naran, and we're already planning Baba Ayol, as well as some additional work that will be done at Urgak Naran over the course of the year, you're going to start to see a fair bit of news from us as a company, very likely every 2 to 3 weeks. So we're extremely excited.
Great. Well, looking forward to it. If there are not any further questions, I'm going to close up here. But as a reminder, you can feel free to reach out directly to ION Energy to submit any questions that you might have following this summit. Thank you so much, Ali, for taking us through the update and obviously for my questions. But I'll pass it off to you if you have any closing remarks.
No, just that once again, want to reiterate the fact that we're excited for what's to come. Hopefully from those images there, you can see that it's a buzz of activity with 25 people on site. That's a drone photo from site of one of the few sort of salt pans or salt beds that we're finding near surface. And we have been able to collect, in the more traditional sense, and I think some of you lithium buffs would know this, we have been able to collect some brine on surface using hydrogeological sampling without having to drill. And we're hoping that those results come to us sooner rather than later as a result of them being, just a handful or so. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining us here and appreciate your time.
Steve just submitted a question, if you don't mind. But he's asking, is the business plan still to define the asset or to sell it to a GB?
Well, it's a combination of things. I think if you look at us versus our comparable companies in LATAM that I mentioned have been able to get work done. Their valuations on the back of the lithium prices going to, today 75,000 per LCE ton. Those prices are significant, but the companies in LATAM have been able to advance their assets and get the necessary exploration done. For ION, I believe that we have had a bit of a break in terms of our ability to get very specific work done. So we believe as a company that our valuation and our share price is still far too low to transact in a JV type scenario. We will continue to press on with our exploration programs and plans, claw back some of the equity losses here, and then potentially look to do a JV. I think it's inevitable, given our proximity to the Chinese market, that it would be a JV type scenario that would happen with either the Chinese or it could be others. But given China today consumes 53% of the world's lithium, they're a powerhouse in terms of consumption. And our proximity to that market, with Baba Ayol being only 20 kilometers from the border and Urgak Naran being in Dorn Govi, with all the necessary infrastructure in place for us to ship, a concentrate down to China, those are questions that we have to come to a conclusion with as a board. But ultimately, the production story will be one that we're not going to be taking on. A JV, absolutely. Production, that has yet to be determined.
Got it. Thank you so much. Yeah, we look forward to upcoming updates. And of course, you can find more information on their website, ionenergy.ca. And I just want to close out here and thank everyone for attending and have a great rest of your day.